Alexa, what is the definition of serendipitous?
The adjective serendipitous is usually defined as come upon or found by accident, fortuitous. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for serendipitous.
Alexa, what is today's date?
It's Tuesday, September 21st, so you know, I can now share gift ideas from Amazon's gift
Alexa.
guide. Want to hear one now?
No. Alexa, what year is it?
The current year is 2021.
I'm watching, so September 21st, 2021, I put on the artwork from my grandfather on the 53rd wedding anniversary of my parents, which is today. Also happens to be, I think, on the Catholic calendar. It happens to be like something to do with Jonah and the whale. I don't know if that helps anyone in weird facts that I serendipitously fall in upon. I'm sitting here at television. Lynn went out with Lou for whatever they do. I'm not part of it. And I'm watching Dupixent. Now here's it's almost like if we had a clean military and we had a clean objective and mission history, and it was so perfectly black and white. It was so rational. It was so justified. It was so perfectly planned and put in place. That would be the black and white marble floor. Unfortunately, I was born to a grandfather that had a beautiful nose and a grandmother with a beautiful nose when they were beautiful nozzle. But my father was born with a hook. That doesn't run in the family. And my grandfather died with a it looked like a prosthetic on the man's nose. He didn't even know it happened. I noticed it happened. So now, that happened. So now, what happens when the most clean, precise department, which gives the orders like to a fraction of a perfectness, goes from black and white certainty and assurity to a yellow and black checkered path? As you carry that forward, what do you think it's going to look like? Just curious. Human. So, with that being said, there is a caramel toffee nougat color that jumped on a moped in a yellow jacket and took off. And they named it Dupixent. So nobody argues, it's what you did. It's what was imaged. It's what a vision showed. The end.
You know the girl that you see for the first time and everything slows down? That was Kisa Clements. She was perfect.
Better give me my pop. Hey, say you're sorry.
Man, she's tough.
I know.
Yellow and black brick road. This title, The Wonder Years, in my lifetime, was presented with some Kevin character, and he was my skin color, give or take, country, but for the most part he was the same color as I was. It was not this palette or hue in actor studio, just saying. Now they've remade it and they put themselves in these characters to tell the same story, just from a different, nobody gives a shit.
I dig it.
Welcome back to to GMA3, everybody. Over 400 protesters gathered at the Capitol this past weekend.
Now, for the first time ever on Bayside Station TV, ever, in his real What Does He Look Like, they announced to me, only person that it matters to, who and what the U.S. Capitol Police Chief looks like. I finally have a face. Just so happens, his last name's Manger. Kind of sounds like Major. Kind of sounds important. Kind of sounds like if I was in the nativity set in New York. We should probably know one another, but we don't. Also, he looks, because I'm sitting here and I'm watching Blue Bloods, knowing that there's nobody I've ever seen on my side of the family that looks like Tom Selleck in his respectable One Police Plaza in New York City. I know the guy exists. I'm feeling by the way New York looks in this yellow and black road that my Dupixent, being this nativity is a little off and hard to... I found the Tom Selleck, the real actor. He's really a U.S. somebody special. They hide him in Washington. Now here's a curiosity note, since I'm riding a donkey by myself. Not really, but whatever, in metaphor. In the nativity of Jesus, je suis. Je suis. Je m'appelle Nicole. But I found the Tom Selleck look-alike handsome man. Because I was going, I don't know what the characters in New York One Police Plaza look like. I don't. Never met them, never been introduced to them, never been invited, never had a reason. Probably would scare the hell out of me if I was. But I found the US version. Now, it also brings up a very interesting fact for me. I'm thinking, as this very important man in this incredibly volatile area of Washington, if I was in his district, which I'm not, but if I was, he's got in his life frame and career frame not only the foreign, we'll call it foreign shitbags and criminals from everywhere that I have to deal with in New York. But see, the criminals in New York, they come in and out like for like gangster conference and like video music awards and like premiere television spots. It's like the, I don't know, whatever. But this poor chap, he's got, in his respectable area, he has to not only keep an ear out for what's going on in the entertainment industry in New York, which is not really entertainment, of what criminals flying in and out from everywhere, and how it might impact his ability to keep himself and a couple of really important somebody specials that are well trained alive. But he also has to deal with not really important people claiming that they're really important in some yellow and black brick road that he knows who the white and black squares belong to. But he has to deal with some new loudmouth, multifaceted and multi-complex situation of now a yellow and black road. He's got something involved in his daily effects of a lobbyist-ish, based on the analytics going on in Wall Street of what's the I mean, it's a different kind of entertainment, but no, those are the casino slot pigs down in downtown New York. Just so we're clear on, I am as black and white, as clear as day. And then this poor man has to keep alive, I suppose, I don't know on whose order, the yellow and black brick kids if they come into his district to keep himself safe. Anybody want to jump in and help on white and black checked squares? Just curious. Because nobody's listening to California and their Hollywood squares at this point. Just saying. Gets really confusing. Are there actual real players here somewhere? I see that I found my Tom Selleck lookalike. For real. Watch this one.
And to show
The industry magic of TV land.
Deadly January 6th insurrection.
Now, despite 4 arrests, the muted rally went off largely without incident, and now the work of the U.S. Capitol Police continues. And here to discuss is U.S. Capitol Police Chief Thomas Manger. Welcome, Chief.
His name is Thomas as well? Oh my God. Does he not look like Tom Selleck from Blue Bloods?
But a very large
casting.
Give us a sense of what went into anticipating this and then actually policing this protest.
So we had a great deal of planning. We've been planning for this event for probably more than a month, and we knew what needed to be different from January 6th. We knew we needed to have adequate staffing. We were able to have the advantage of putting the fence up just as a deterrent, but we also have been focused since January 6th on training, on making sure officers had the equipment that they needed. And
now, I don't want to say that just because I haven't met my version of Tom Selleck and Tom Manger, that in New York, that there's not one that exists here. Because I am sure with however many, whatever the count is on NYPD Strong, that I have quite a few of this within my city. But I have my own yellow and black brick road problem with really long, loud, when I say loud in all the wrong categories, of antecedents that have gathered in such a hemorrhoidal form of swollen tissue. It makes it really hard to have anything precision, surgical, precise. And then that endangers the good staff that's there and could be utilized and their effectiveness. So I don't have a directory of NYPD employees. I don't. In fact, I don't have U.S. Capitol directory either. I don't know how they find one another. I know there's a system in place at really important people place, but I have no idea where to go in some place like where I'm at since birth in Bayside Station to go find my way to, like, how do I make it down the yellow brick road to someone like this? Who do I even ask? I'm pretty sure if I asked the guys at the front door of NYPD, they would roll their eyes completely. Like, yeah, okay, lady. I swear to God, on the streets of New York, I have schmucks. They could be super respected, and they could be really great officers, but they're not always. Sometimes they're just more like, what drugs are you, like, do you realize I have a uniform on and I am way more important than, right, yeah, no, I noticed the conversation about cat food was just so much more important when I strolled up with my Skittles bag of candy, of, like, actual things you're gonna need for your career to keep yourself safe, that, like, the real heroes somewhere in the background need. Just saying. Anyhow, let's get back to more important men in the world.
And that we shared our intelligence that we had about this meeting with our partners, with our officers ahead of time. So all that, I think, combined to make this event run as smoothly as possible.
Chief Manger, your department said at the beginning of summer there had been a 107...
And, like, how do we ever organize to keep ourselves and our kids safe? Like, is there a directory and phone tree that we can keep to ourselves that we don't have to share? Because it seems like when there's some sharing of information going on, this keeps getting stronger, and he and I keep getting more distal in proximity. I don't know why that is. I know he's very important, and he's very busy where he is, and he doesn't have time for just little old me. I got that. But somewhere between his uber importance and my uber importance but broken off in a city with some of the same shared issues, I don't understand why somewhere along this way they couldn't organize a black and white marble clarity mentor or strength figure in my life. Was it just too much? I mean, it really, it behooves me at this point as to why it was never established. On a secondary note, from Lewis having the disgusting, ugly hook nose and then a nose job to look more like his mother and father, he had cosmetic surgery. Then my first son, it is the only thing on his face that I don't like. However, it's there and it fits in with his whatever. So he's handsome as proportionally as he's ever gonna get. However, he wouldn't have been born with this hook nose had Angelina and Anthony had some kind of cosmic assurity. But the inflation and almost prosthetic genetic, like, put onto Antonine Caderouza for some reason happens to coincide with the son being born with a hook, which now all of a sudden my first son has a hook, which tells you how dangerous mixing yellow bricks in a black and white area is, for surety, in long-term projects in case the linguistics missed you somehow and you got like supercharged inside of this disgusting alternate reality that is never to exist for planetary security. Like, how self-indulgent does he and I look that all I ever talk about is the fact that I've been left in some kind of imprisonment. And I know he has a super important position, but he is at capacity with how much he can take of their voices having to out-voice us and have to outman us. They have to be equal to us all the effing time. It's like, if you knew that the one person on the planet that could keep the entire United States America dream together and safe was being poisoned, beaten, molested, raped, and it was going to shake up the dynamic of America and actually jeopardize all the things that you adamantly fight for, would you all just sit down and shut up for 5 minutes so that maybe a black and white conversation could go on and I could get a mentor and some direction? Or is this conversation just so much more important that you just want to, like, jeopardize everybody's civil and human rights? Just curious, because that's what it's looked like for this long. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Caderouza. In Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. I've shown it several different ways, being a biological attack and change of the anatomy that's been shown in my own family lineage, as well as art that predated me, that was created before I got here, and art that has followed me, that I've created myself, that I also have found now some digital pieces that tie the universal truth together in the exact same pronounced story of what's going on somewhere while this parallel dimension is going on, trying to correct itself, but not knowing how or whom or where to address itself.